Thank you everyone so much for joining us. We really appreciate the opportunity to meet with you all, and just with all the, everything is virtual these days, and so we know it can be a little draining and kind of the Zoom fatigue and Teams, if you will, so video call fatigue, but we appreciate you dialing in and just your interest in connecting with us and learning more. So look forward to it and very much appreciate your time and attention. I'm Maddie Miller. I'm with our college recruiting team at Mortenson, and so charged with our internship program is one of the main things that I focus on. And I will be running you through a little bit of background. We're excited to share a little bit of the Morton history and story with you, and help you kind of understand the scope of our company before handing it over to our finance and accounting team specifically. I do want to cover just a quick housekeeping thing. I think so long as bandwidth and things is working well for everyone, I think I welcome everyone keeping video on, but I think it is helpful to remain muted, but do unmute if you have a question. I think we're open to those at any time, or anything like that. So do stay muted. We'll kind of hang in there with regards to video, but do what you most feel comfortable with. But I did want to turn it over to Drew and Alyssa quick, just to provide a quick intro as our later speakers, and then also Derek Lincoln too.
I can go next. Hi everyone. I'm Drew Bryan, finance manager for Mortenson Properties. We'll get into a little bit later who Mortenson Properties is in contrast to the construction company that we'll hear a lot about here right off the gate. I've been with Mortenson for about 3 years now. And I think one thing that I wanted to mention on the housekeeping front, Microsoft Teams does have a chat function. So if you think of any questions as we go and you don't really want to chime in and interrupt us, feel free to use that option as well. But we welcome the feedback. Love to hear from you as we go along.
Yeah, and hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Alyssa Pieram. I'm a group accounting manager for Mortenson. I've been with the company for 6 years now, and volunteered last year for a 2-year commitment to really focus on our intern program. So excited to share a little bit more with that with you on that today. And I'll let Derek Lincoln, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. My name is Derek Lincoln. I was an intern with Mortenson this summer with the project accounting team and entertainment. I'm just here to give you guys some insight about Mortenson on the intern level. I've interned with them over summer, so it's a great company. I can give you a little bit more insight as we go through the presentation later. And I'm a senior, currently I'm a senior at St. Olaf College, and I'm majoring in economics.
All right. Thank you all, and thanks Derek again for joining us. He's here to give us the inside scoop, if you will. We thought his perspective would be super helpful. So, all right, well, we'll dive into a few slides here. Switch over. All right, we're going to provide a very quick overview. Hopefully you did have a chance also to watch that quick hitting video, just giving you, 2-minute, whatever it is, snapshot of who we are as a company. I think we have a large local presence here, and so though I didn't hear about Mortenson before I started working here, as soon as I did, I was just blown away by the expansiveness of the company, not only locally here, but all that we do across the world too, and all the different types of construction that we do as well. So we'll touch on a little bit of that. Mortenson has been a family-owned firm for 66 years strong now. And so M.A. Mortenson Sr. started the business in 1954 and then handed it to his son, Mort Mortenson Jr. And then our chairman is now Mort Jr.'s son, David Mortenson. So it's been a family-owned organization, and certainly that has influenced some of the unique culture and just how we do business and connect with one another as team members as well. We have 12 office locations. The headquarters is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so locally here, but we have 12 office locations really supporting work nationally. And we have done some international work as well. We're recognized as a top 20 builder in the United States, specifically number 15 as of the last provided rankings. And we are, but it's not a main goal to be the #1 builder based on size at all within the country. It's really about being the best and delivering what's best for our customer at the forefront versus just being the biggest. But we are a very large company. We have currently 6,100 team members. Now this is inclusive of not only craft team members who really are the builders on site at our projects, but also non-craft as well. It's pretty even split, maybe more so leaning craft, and certainly how many craft team members we employ in a given year varies based on the workload that we have. So kind of our team member count is always in flux. It's just kind of the nature of the industry, if you will. And we have a strong history of financial success, and we'll cover that, and obviously that's of interest to this group, so we'll cover that in a little bit more detail later. But we did $5.1 billion in annual revenue last year, which is just a mind-blowing number. So we wanted to share kind of the heart of who Mortenson is with you guys, and we have well, able to do that in one way through kind of our purpose, mission, and strategy. So our purpose is to build structures and facilities for the advancement of modern society. Mortenson is very committed to not just building whatever kind of gets us, you know, more money in the bank or a contract, but really advancing, being strategic about what we choose to build, and advancing modern society. And one of the ways in which we do that, kind of an obvious connection point there, is our history in renewable energy. We just think that that is a obvious way that we can improve, you know, the world around us. And then also with more of our commercial work, so whether that is, you know, stadiums or office buildings or what have you, we really think that structures have the ability to grow the communities around them, and that's something that we care about a lot as well. So our purpose is inspired by our mission, which is to create an exceptional customer experience. Now that might be might sound like a little bit of a weird mission for a construction company, but really this industry is so relationship focused. And so we highly value just what the customer, their impression, how working with us is. You know, we we'll get into a little bit later. Hope you can kind of feel that we really want to do the right thing by all of our customers. Not only is that just the right thing to do, but it's how you win repetitive work or just build a reputation in the industry to be able to win more work and explore new areas. So that is super important to us. Finally, kind of how we direct these initiatives is through some key strategies. One is having exceptional teams. We know that strong, diverse teams are going to give us the best results, help us best connect to our customers and communities. And we know that strong teams are those of strong leaders and that have good harmony within them. And so we're very focused on building strong teams. We also have a strategy of operating within diverse markets. So that is something that we always value, but certainly it helps us kind of rise to the forefront in some somewhat of turbulent times like right now, where we're experiencing a pandemic and some kind of you know, ups and downs of the economy. By having diversified markets that we are in, so really what that means is just we do different types of construction and all across the board. So we build stadiums like US Bank Stadium, we all kind of know locally here, but then we also do solar farms, and those are so different from one another, but they really help. And then we're also involved, you know, everything in between. So federal contracting work, so work with the federal government. So we have a lot of flexibility. When one market might slow down, another might be picking up. And so that has helped with our financial backing, and and strength, and really providing solid for team members in a somewhat kind of turbulent industry. And so finally, we are an organization that's really focused on transformational innovation. So, and we've seen a lot of great stuff come out of this in the years, I would say, where we're kind of doubling down and really realizing that innovation is imperative to, moving the organization forward and staying, competitive. And so, I think innovation can look all sorts of ways. It can be just how we keep our, project sites clean and running most efficient. It can be how do we prevent more, these certain types of safety incidents from happening, and as well as how do we explore, and get involved in new businesses and markets, or create a market. So that is super important to us, and I think it's really it's really great to be at an organization that values that and doesn't want to remain stagnant. So moving on here, so Lead Blue was introduced maybe 2 years ago, I want to say, and it's really been adopted and so widely welcomed across the organization. But really, it's our attempt at defining and kind of mobilizing what is best about Mortenson and who we are at our best, and who we can kind of some skills and principles that we can develop in ourselves and other team members to really develop the leader within all of us. So I think it's all been developed in-house, and I think it's really unique that a construction company would be really thoughtful about developing kind of a leadership development program. And so I do really think it's a differentiator in the industry. And you can see kind of the 3 principles and the subsequent practices that go along with them. So you heard me mention a little bit about do the right thing, we before me, and inspire what's possible. So these have always been kind of maybe without saying so, just part of that secret sauce of Mortenson, if you will. Like I said, we have a long-standing history, and so we saw the need to kind of put pen to paper with some of these things and write them down and give us all a shared language to discuss kind of what is expected of all of our team members and what we can strive to do. So I'll show a little video here that speaks more to Lead Blue as well as what we call kind of the Mortenson way. But also wanted to highlight underneath the 3 principles, you'll also see our key values, which have always stood with Mortenson. I can't say all of them have since 1994 or 54, but they were also foundational and have existed for a while in standing up Lead Blue. So trust, teamwork, responsibility, safety, service, and stewardship. So I'm going to transition to that quick video where you can just get a better feel for our culture. Just 1 second here. I have to change how I'm sharing with you. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick test. Hopefully you can, the audio is good. If someone could let me know as well. Good, okay.
At Mortenson, we do the right thing, even when no one is watching. We put others before ourselves and enable them to achieve their very best. We believe the world is what we make it, that we are all born with the capacity to lead, leadership doesn't just happen to us, it happens within us. And that together, there's nothing we can't do. Whether for our customer, our community, or our company, it's up to each of us to inspire what's possible. Because when we lead as the best version of ourselves, we leave the world a better place. Let's build a better world.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a really cool video. It's kind of short and sweet, but yeah, that's David Mortenson speaking, and hopefully just gives you a little insight into yeah, who we are at our core and at the heart of Mortenson. It is certainly we're builders at heart, but also there's just so much genuine care in this organization, and that's probably one of my favorite things about Mortenson. All right, I'm going to take us back to our slide here. Okay, I think we should be seeing our PowerPoint again. Let's see. Okay, now I want to turn it over to Alyssa, who's going to share. We're going to kind of drill down on more specifics of the organization and finance and accounting.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you just a little bit more insight to the company and how it looks today, along with a little bit more information on the industries that we serve. So currently we have 7 different geographic offices they are standalone operating groups. Minneapolis, Denver, Seattle, Milwaukee, Chicago, Phoenix, and Portland. And we also have 5 additional locations that house team members to help support those other operating groups. And with the industries that we serve 9 specific groups. Of that includes Mortenson Development that Drew will probably talk to you about a little bit more. It's our real estate development group, and they do everything for our customers to get a project underway. We also have our federal contracting group, which focuses exclusively on projects for the U.S. government. And our wind and our solar groups, we take great pride in our renewable energy. And I think a lot of times when you think of Mortenson, you think of, these big stadiums that we build. But really our renewable energy division is probably about 50% of our operating revenue. And just kind of a fun fact around our wind industry that we have so far played a part in 21% of the installed wind power in the United States. We also have our sports and entertainment group. We're the largest sports builder in the U.S. With over 170 projects valued at $11 billion. Most recently, you may have heard in the news about the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. We also have our Power Delivery Solutions group. They deliver clean energy infrastructure and high voltage transmission lines for and substations. A lot of times they will partner with our wind and solar groups. We also Maddie, if you want to, there you go. Our civil group builds our nation's infrastructure, roads and bridges, but mostly work for our energy and infrastructure groups. And occasionally some of our commercial projects as well. one of our most recent groups that we've developed at Mortenson is our Energy Storage and Solutions group. This group focuses on battery storage, and it was built out of our Power and Delivery Solutions group. And the one that we're excited about most in the recent year is our data centers. Big data is core to each of the mega trends happening today, whether it's social media, mobile computing, expansion of the cloud, or gaming. And we're focusing on that demand within the data center industry. With that, we also have some other service groups within Mortenson. Equipment management, we do have our own equipment group that rents out to our projects. We provide high quality equipment rentals, and they help manage all our fleet. Energy services provides post-construction services to wind and solar farms. And our engineering services provide third-party peer review and design engineer record services on high voltage substation projects. And then our Blue 54 and Blue Farah, very much involved in the prefab industry and installment services. And I won't get into much of the details when it comes to our sales history, but I think the graph speaks for itself in how much Mortenson has grown even in the last 15 years. And Drew will touch on more of our business services team that helps support that growth. So I'll turn it over to you, Drew.
Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah, so finally we have our business service groups, and what these are the groups that support the entire organization. They're all based out of the Mortenson headquarters campus here in Minneapolis. And we're here today mostly to speak to you about the finance and accounting group. And so we've highlighted that here, but I think on the next two slides, I'm gonna get into a little bit more detail into the department, kind of how it's structured and who does what. And then where we have intern opportunities to share with you students within the Wallin program here based out of the Minneapolis headquarters campus. And so what we ended up doing was, the accounting and finance department is quite a large department. So I just broke the org structure into two slides, one calling it the finance department and the other one for accounting. And we'll just walk you through some of the functions that have internship opportunities and kind of what they do on a day-to-day basis. So we'll start here within the finance group. You'll see that the FP&A function stands for financial planning and analysis, and they have an internship opportunity available. We've highlighted the intern positions in orange and the green positions to be positions that the intern would interact with kind of in a day-to-day basis, just to give you an idea of where within the org structure would you kind of socialize with. And so the financial planning and analysis group really review and analyze the company and group level financials. They provide corporate leadership reporting packages and facilitate kind of the forecast and budgeting process throughout the company. They're financial partners for the different operating groups, providing ad hoc analysis or dashboards to help them track their progress throughout the year. And so we do have an internship opportunity available within that group. And similar to the FP&A team that rolls up to the same director, we have a data analytics and insights department. This department provides statistical analysis and builds predictive models, uses business intelligence, machine learning type processes to build systems and models, and work collaboratively with the FP&A department to drive financial success. They also work with the operations side of the business to find out if there are elements of data that are out there that they can build a model or do analysis to say, if we did XYZ, would it lead to more safe outcomes? Or, how do we better refine our estimating process? So it's things that kind of go outside the finance and accounting department at times. And so this department as well is looking for an intern to help them, with some of the work that they're doing. Throughout the finance department, we also have the treasury department. That group does not currently have an internship opportunity available, but I'll speak to Mortenson Properties, which is the group that I'm in. I'm the finance manager for Mortenson Properties, and Mortenson Properties really is a bit outside of the construction company that you just heard so many great things about. Mortenson Properties is the real estate investment arm for Mortenson. And so what we do is we invest in office buildings, industrial buildings, medical, life science, and renewable energy projects. And you would guess most of which have an association with Mortenson Construction. The goal would be that Mortenson would be constructing those projects. But we do a mix of partnering with a development group on new projects. So as Alyssa mentioned before, Mortenson Development will be one of our key partners on projects, but also we'll buy existing buildings and do some sort of a renovation as well. And so we're looking for an intern in our team to really support kind of the underwriting, putting together investment memorandums and different things for opportunities that we're looking at investing in. Also supporting our portfolio that we own of projects and different analysis and things that come up there. And so that's a general overview of the opportunity we have in our group within Mortenson Properties. As we flip to the next slide, we've summarized the accounting department. And as Alyssa mentioned, there are many different operating groups within Mortenson, and each of them are structured with an accounting manager and different accountants to support the business and their groups. We are hiring 2 interns for 2 different operating groups, but this year, both of which are going to be at other locations other than Minneapolis. So we won't speak too much to those specific intern opportunities here, but what Alyssa will talk about after I'm done is how those interns will actually partner with the Minneapolis-based interns as part of a cohort and how together throughout their internship time. And so, you would add those 2 to the 4 opportunities we'll speak to today, to who you'd be working with throughout the internship time on that. So within accounting, there's many different departments as well on here that we won't get too into the details on, but the one that we do have a specific intern opportunity is within financial reporting. And this intern will likely also work closely with our HQ accounting team as well. But financial reporting really works on the quarterly and annual financial reporting packages. That Mortenson is a consolidated company, and so we consolidate all of the activity of all of the different groups, including Mortenson Properties, and consolidate the financials and report out. There's a lot of analysis, different technical accounting that goes into what the financial reporting team does, many different audits and technical accounting support that it provides to the overall company. And they work really hand in hand with the HQ accounting team, as that team really drives for the monthly close process, kind of balance sheet account reconciliations, and just making sure that all of the consolidated financial and accounting information gets done, processed on a timely basis, and then reported out to the different groups and senior leadership throughout the company. And so those functions are going to have a shared intern that supports each of their departments. So happy to answer any questions about any of these opportunities now or later. or if you have any just general questions of how the group works together. But that's a quick overview of the finance and accounting department and the internship opportunities we have available. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, I was just gonna ask about the accounting intern. Is this generally just gonna be about the general ledgers and like just kind of balancing the books and stuff like that?
So for within the financial reporting group, and it's going to be a lot of technical accounting, a lot of oversight of the information that comes up. It's going to also be balance sheet oriented. So getting to the general ledger and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be similar to what you were asking about there.
Will interns have something to do every day?
Yes, there will be something to do every day. So the way that we've structured this is, you'll have day-to-day responsibilities within your team, and Alyssa will touch a little bit on this on the next slide. But then also there's a side project that you'll work along with all of the other interns to also just keep you busy with different things to do. And Alyssa, maybe you can touch on this next slide to talk about the type of events that we also program, just to provide for some networking and different things that we do as well.
Yeah, so let me give you a few highlights into our internship program. We've really spent the last 2 to 3 years focusing on the development of this program. And even through the pandemic this last year, maintained our commitment to our 2020 interns. I think that follows along our lines of doing the right thing. And we really commit ourselves to providing our interns with an exceptional experience. And we do that through a variety of different things. We definitely provide networking opportunities across multiple departments. We typically will organize events, maybe such as small coffee talks, and really try and provide you with exposure to not even your own group that you're working in, but other finance and accounting groups as well. We create exposure and interactions with some of our senior leaders. I know some of the interns last year were able to interview our CFO. And we organize different events just to provide you with knowledge and aid in your professional development. Last year we did a short meeting just on video etiquette, right? I think going through this pandemic, we all needed a little bit of that. And we also encourage collaboration with our other interns. So as Drew was saying, we provide a project for all of our interns to work on together. We kind of set the base work, but you guys get to create your own project. And that project will then be presented to some of our senior leaders as well as your managers and mentors. So with that, I think it's a good segue into talking to Derek Lincoln a little bit about his past experience as an intern. So Derek, thank you so much for agreeing to share in this presentation today. I'm going to kick it off with a question of, when you were looking for an internship, what were you looking for?
Honestly, I was looking for just a learning experience. I wanted to come in and just learn all that I can that would help me advance in my career and just learn some skills on the way. So I just took it as just me wanting to learn, that's the main goal of it.
Great. So, Derek, what was it like to transition like your from classroom experience to real world finance and accounting experience at Mortenson, working in the sports and entertainment group and at Mortenson doing group accounting? What was it like transitioning there?
Honestly, the transition wasn't hard at all. Like the group that I had was very supportive, very, very willing to help out like with any questions that I had. So like the transition wasn't hard at all. But I would say like from like classroom to like the professional world in general, I don't think there's like a lot of like professional development within the classroom that can prepare you for what to do. It's kind of like you just go in and just like learn kind of, and it's like a test run kind of. But I definitely thought it was a very easy transition from the classroom to working in a professional stage.
So, Derek, can you tell us what was the most valuable thing that you learned about yourself through your experience as an intern with Mortenson?
Oh yeah, I think the main thing that I learned about myself was that when needed to, I needed to be a little bit more assertive in what I wanted. And I say that because when I came in an intern at Mortenson, I knew it was a great company. I knew like what it can do for me in the future, and I knew what I wanted. So I came in with a very assertive attitude. I was very confident in my abilities, and that's helped me like even after I left, I'm more of a assertive person now. I knew I could be assertive, and I was able to show that within that internship program.
That's great to hear. What did you like most about working at Mortenson?
Oh man, the people, man, they're so cool, man. It wasn't like I was going to like work or anything. It was actually like fun every day. Like it was fun to like just talk about like life, talk about anything that is going on with what in life in general. Like it was, yeah, we worked hard like every day, but like the people just made it fun to go to work. Like it was really fun to just come to work and just, well, it was remote in the summer, but it was still like fun to just talk with people. The I just like the family structure that Mortenson has in general. I thought that was very important to me when I was looking at like where I wanted to be in a professional world. I wanted to feel like I felt supported by like whatever I decided to do. And I definitely got that with Mortenson. I got that vibe with Mortenson.
So, Derek, would you have any advice for any future interns?
Yeah. You just gotta come in and work your butt off. Take a lot of notes. You gotta take a lot of notes. Like, you're going to forget a lot of stuff. Take notes. Ask lots of questions. Be prepared. Be prepared to work. Um. Uh. Keep it professional, but you can also have a little fun with some of your team members. Like they're professional, but they're not gonna like be very strict and like it's a very loose environment kind of. Uh, another tip I would have is just like don't come in expecting that. It's like trust me, like I bet there are people that have been working at Mortenson for like 10 or 15 years and they're still learning stuff to this day. So like just know that you're always going to be learning stuff. Don't come in with a big head. Just come in and willing to work and learn.
Derek,
Yeah,
this has been
great advice.
really helpful. Thank you. And we just had a career event last Friday where Richard Harris of Mortenson was on, and he encouraged us and our students to always be asking, in your role, what does success look like? And so I would love to know what your perspective, and then also Drew and Alyssa, just more broadly in the internships in general.
You're asking what does success look like?
Yeah, in your past internship.
I feel like success for me was just like feeling like I actually was helping like people and doing what I can do to help this company be what they can be. And like I felt success when I was told I was supported. I was told I was doing a good job. When like I felt success when I got to work with my intern, like other interns, and we were working on our group project, and that was a success. It just it just felt really good. Like I never really felt like I failed at Mortenson. Like I even when like I had troubles with like certain assignments I was tasked with, like I never felt like I failed. Like I always it's either like I succeeded or I learned.
Yeah, and I would say, really come in with a growth mindset. I think Derek nailed it when he said, just come in ready to work and to learn. Ask questions. It's a safe environment that we all make mistakes, so don't expect to be perfect, and don't expect to get yelled at for not being perfect. But yeah, really come in with a growth mindset and ready to learn.
Agree, and I think that the internship program, provides for a lot of opportunities to connect with different people and to network, and just run with it and be yourself, and just do the most you can with your opportunity and connect with as many people as you can. Life is so much about networking, and that was one thing that, for those that we saw probably most succeed in the internship role, is because they really kind of tried to get to know both their role, but what else was going on at Mortenson and what different departments did. And that's also a great thing to focus on.
Hi everyone, my name is Pranav and I'm a freshman at the University of Minnesota. And I had two questions for Derek. The first one is, what was your biggest struggle as an intern? And then the second question is, how has your experience at Mortenson benefited you in your academic as well as your professional world?
Oh yeah. I'd say I'm sorry, what was the first question?
What was your biggest struggle as an intern?
Oh yeah, my biggest struggle, I'd say, was like, I guess like the Excel stuff kind of tripped me up a little bit because we like worked on Excel at my school, but it wasn't to the extent that like some of the projects we would do at Mortenson we would work on. But I would say that was like one of my biggest like struggles. And then I'd say another struggle was just like I had trouble like focus sometimes. I could sometimes get off task, but usually if you just get in your zone and just work, you can always like bounce out of it. And one thing that I took with my academic career that helped me was just being able to work with groups and succeeding in working with groups. You'll find out if you find out like at Mortenson, like there's a lot, it's a big sense of community. We all work together to succeed in our main goal. And just being able to work with professionals and seeing how they interact with each other, what questions they have, what type of standards they have for a certain project, and how they want stuff done. It helped me with group assignments now. Like it's kind of like I just had a structure of, all right, let's see what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it. And it helped me become a leader in a way,
But so you mentioned that Excel and like staying focused was one of your biggest struggles. How did you overcome those struggles? And like, did Mortenson help you with that at all?
Oh yeah, with the Excel stuff, like we have a lot of people that are very proficient in Excel, and they were able to help me with like, so we have this thing called the Wolves Project, and the Wolves Project was something else. I'll say that. But like Excel, like they were able to help me with certain functions that I needed to like produce within the project. They also have like Excel courses, believe it or not, at Mortenson that help you become more proficient in Excel and stuff like that. And so like I took those courses and that helped a lot. And just staying focused, that was just kind of a personal thing that I was just working on. Like, and staying focused just comes with just like you just holding yourself accountable and just being like, I have to get this done. Like, I can't afford to have any distractions or anything.
And you felt comfortable asking for help, like Excel, for example. You felt comfortable going to your supervisors and mentors?
Oh, 100%. They were super supportive and they answered every question that I had clear as they can. they were very supportive. I didn't feel like I couldn't ask a question ever in my internship.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Good questions, and they'll want to hear straight from you too, Derek, which is awesome. But yeah, just to not say too much here, but just on top of that, we really focus on being an organization that everyone is approachable, and that's another thing I really appreciate about Mortenson. It's, just titles don't mean that you can't reach out to someone, or that supervisor can't learn something from an intern. So we really try to break down those barriers. There's another question.
Another question in the. Sorry, Maddie.
No.
You're all over it.
No. Yeah.
Derek, this question is for you again. How do you and the other interns interact and work on the projects?
Oh yeah, we would meet. So in the beginning, it was a little bit slow because like it was remote, so like it was kind of hard to connect on the personal level. But as the internship kicked up, we started to meet a little bit more, and we just broke the ice. And like we would start it off with just like what's going on with your day, like how's everything with school going, everything's at home. Like we like got to really know each other, and then like even now, like we like end up forming a group chat and like talking with each other. We talk to this day now. Like I've gone out and hung out with a couple of the interns at certain places. And yeah, like we were. It was a fun experience. Like it was a fun experience hanging out, and just, like, as it is, it was hard work, but we all knew that we had to get it done, and that was something that I appreciated. Everybody was very willing to like help each other, and we always held each other accountable. And it was a great experience overall.
Were there any conflicts that you and the other interns had that you had to solve together as a collaborative team?
I wouldn't say that we're really. I guess like in the beginning of the group project, we were kind of slacking off a little bit because we had like a heavy workload. Like we understood that like we had a deadline we had to meet, and then it just came down and we just had to grind, and we all had the understanding, and that's what helped. Like with the conflict, we all knew that like we had to get this done, and that was like the only conflict. It started off slow, but we picked it up and we were able to nail our project at the end. So
thanks, Derek. I can answer the next question. So the real estate financial analyst intern, that is with Mortenson Properties. So that's the group that I'm in. And so it's really assisting Mortenson Properties in their real estate investments that they're making, doing research either on a market, on tenants, so on companies, doing research on product types in different markets. It's a lot of research, and then it's also financial modeling. As you're looking at an investment opportunity, kind of modeling it out with how you think it would go, and providing some narrative around the rationale of why we want to do this opportunity. So the intern would really support our investment team doing a lot of those efforts as we're looking at investment opportunities, and on an opportunity that we might be pursuing and presenting to either investment committee or a lender or things like that. They would help put together investment memorandums or loan books, things like that take a lot of time and effort. And then it would just be assisting with any other analysis for our portfolio that we have of real estate. Mortenson Properties owns projects in Minnesota, Denver, and in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so we'd be working on those projects with any type of analysis or project type work that comes up. We have an accounting team as well that supports Mortenson Properties, and there might be some work that comes up to support them. One thing that we're thinking about having our intern assist with is really kicking off our lease accounting, lease accounting process and system that we're going to use. And so that would be like inputting all of our leases, understanding kind of what that process looks like and how leases work and how that translates into billing tenants. So that would be another part of the internship that this person would help with.
So may I ask a question?
Yeah.
So hi, my name is Tian Mao. I'm a second year at the U of M. So I'm interested in the data analytics and insights internship. I know we've been focusing on finance and accounting, but that's my interest anyways. So could you please briefly talk about the day-to-day life as a data analytics intern?
I'll do my best. We don't have anyone on the team here that is in that team on the call here, but we actually just heard a little bit from them in a previous meeting today. So they spend a lot of time in systems. I don't know that you might know better than me, but like the systems like Python, SAS are very like data specific systems, and the data that they're using can contain financial data or other data, and it can be really anything. Mortenson, the fact that we build over $5 billion worth of projects every year, I mean there's just a lot of activity, a lot of data that sits here at Mortenson, and we've really just started forming this data analytics and insights group. I think that they've really only been around for a year or two. And right now it's a 2-person team, and an intern would be a third. So the intern really comes in and hits the ground running, and as a big part of the team. Probably, and I think that we did have one this summer, and so that intern I think was a critical part of the team. I mean, because the team is so small, they're working on kind of any and all projects that the team's working on. And getting deep into the details. I think that there was one time that he was kind of sharing his screen, and for me, I was like, I've never seen these types of systems like Python and R and the heavy data analytics, machine learning type things. But the intern, they allow them to really get deep into the weeds and work on those systems, and so hopefully that helps answer the question.
Yeah, so that was nice information. And also, how strict are they on the major requirements as well as the Python background or R background?
I think in general we're open. We know that in any intern role in general, we don't expect you to come in and be the expert and be a huge arm on the team. Although we do kind of give you the support and with time, those responsibilities in order to function as a in an internship capacity, but as another full standing member of the team. So I would say we are open to exploring different majors and don't want to have like strict requirements on what is needed, and we want to be open to any experience that you have and how you see it could fit to an opportunity. So I would say we're approaching it from an open standpoint, but and I can speak to the general process a little bit later in terms of next steps should you be interested, but in general there would be a kind of submission of your resume to communicate your interest, and then an interview for the position, and when that would be at the time where you could connect directly with the hiring manager to get all those, get a real strong feel for the requirements of the opportunity and how you might be a fit, and so there would be a few more steps in the process, but in general I do think we're open.
Okay, and will the internship be in person or it's going to be remote?
Yeah, well, that is a good question, and I would like to have a firm answer, but who knows what this coming year will look like. But for right now, the summer, 21 internship opportunities, we are comfortable forecasting that they would be in person and that our office would be open. As you can see, we're all working from home still. Yeah, so it's something we would be obviously in touch about, but the plan would be to have a 3-month-long internship and in person at our headquarters office, which is actually in Golden Valley, so just outside of Minneapolis.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So when do we apply? Good question. So we wanted to have this session to, help information share and then give answer any questions that you might have in terms of determining your interest, but we would love to have anyone who's interested in the opportunities. Matt will kind of assist in collecting resumes for opportunities of interest, and then he will raise those up to us. And then from there, the individuals that show interest and that we would be interested in moving forward with will apply formally to the roles and then have an interview with that specific team. At this stage, we are looking to still do interviews remote, just because our office is, we're going to reevaluate in the new year, but for the remainder of the year, we'll be working remote. So that would be the plan.
And Maddie, just to emphasize from a timing standpoint, so super appreciative of all of our students that are on the call asking questions. We'll have this session recorded. We'll also follow up in our upcoming Moose Mail with more information, but be sure to be sending me your resume, as Maddie said, if you are interested in specific roles. I've included my email in the chat. I'll also be following up with an email. And Maddie, when do students need to be getting resumes in by?
Good question. I would say that we'd love to have them for sure by probably the 13th. But I should have had a firm date in mind, but so that is 2 Fridays from now. I do think that would be helpful in terms of us moving next steps forward. Do you think that's reasonable?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that's a different way of reframing the question, is when do you plan on moving forward with next steps? Is if it's after the 13th, students can still certainly be applying, but they might miss that window of interviewing. So it sounds like interviewing might start right after the 13th.
Yeah, we do want to interview, I would say, mid to later of this month, and have the position secured for sure by the end of the year. So that is our timing, and maybe even a little bit sooner, maybe Thanksgiving time. We would like to have some solid understanding, but yeah, we are open, but yeah, definitely the sooner that you can get back to us, the better, and we look forward to considering and connecting.
Can you remind us real quick how many students or interns you're looking for each position?
Yeah, let me bring up that slide here. It's actually 4 positions locally here that we are hiring for, and there was a question as well about who is the position open to. We would like to fill all with students from Wallin, so we're really excited about that and excited about all the interest too, and just your time. So these are the 4 positions here. Yeah.
Well, we are so appreciative of all the time each of you have taken today. I know it is 1 o'clock. Students, if there are further questions, certainly we can be coordinating that via email as well. But just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So Matt, I have another question. I said you posted an email here, so does it mean that we send the resume to your email?
Yes, so I'll follow up with an email, and then I'll be collecting all the resumes and then also asking what position or positions you're interested in. And then I'll be coordinating that through with Maddie.
Okay.
Good questions. Thank you so much for the time today, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.